I don't know if this is going to work. Let me know if this is working, you guys. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's going to come either, but anyways, hello, tortured lesbians. So I wanted to go live just for a bit because I am trying to wait for work and I'm in a kind of complicated situation. Hello, John. My car got fucked up again. So it had another episode, and the car place I think is closed for the 4th of July. So it's like I'm having to use my mom's car. It's like a whole thing. And so I have to stay more so in town, and there's less work, and it's just a little bit tricky of a time. Yeah. So realistically, there's a danger of my car being done, basically. It could potentially end up that way. It could be a simple solution. I can tell you guys my idea, but obviously I'm not a mechanic, but I think it has to do with, it's either like probably the fuel filter needs to be changed, which that would be the best case scenario. That would be like a really easy, relatively cheap fix. Or it's like the fuel pump is going out, and if that's the case, it's going to cost too much. And it's just going to lead to a whole series of events, because then we'll probably have to sell it, and it'll just be like this huge thing, like a very life-changing moment, basically, if it goes that way. So I don't know, but I'm not going to know until next week. So anyways, I wanted to respond to a comment I got on my main channel in this stream, because I've had a little bit of shit and vinegar in me lately. I've been kind of estrogen-y on top of serotonin-y. So I'm currently going through both at the same time. But, some people are dumb and they can't understand what I'm saying, which I get it. It's confusing, but it's like, it's my own research. Like, this is a comment left on my health update video. It's like, that's my own research. I'm just sharing my research, honestly, out of the goodness of my heart. Like, I don't have to share it. I share it to show the journey so that people can see the whole thing from years ago. It's a way of having credibility, and it's a way of showing that I know what I'm talking about, because it's gone on for years and I can document everything. But basically, lately I've been, like I said, a little bit estrogen. I think because of the solstice, there's just a lot of fat burning or a lot of stuff where your body kind of is processing a lot of the PUFA in the summer. And so I'm dealing with that because I'm really hypolish, which is great. I love the terms. But basically, I'm itchy and, kind of irritable, but I'm also still serotonin like I usually am, because I've been back on the deficit. And so that all comes back really quickly. But basically, because I wanted to bitch out on stream today and be like, you don't get to tell me about SAD, So let me go ahead and read it. So this comment was on my recent update that's called Less Serotonin-y. It's called Less Serotonin-y, Fugly Mo, and Willpower. So it was on that video. I'm going to read it. It's very nasty. I don't know if it's a Gen Z or a Gen X. It's somebody. Oh, look, they responded. Dumbass. Yeah, we will go. Anyways, so this person said, the only problem I see here is that you're riddled with millennial angst. You were triggered, quote unquote, because of your car. Triggered. You mean you were annoyed your car had an issue. Simple. So that is super stupid and dismissive. Somebody's car, like my car is my financial security. It's where I work. So it's not just losing the car, it's losing the car and the job at the same time. That's really scary, especially in these times. It's a huge trigger. It has to do with not being in control of it, all these different things. This person has no understanding of BED. This person has zero understanding of eating disorders, what causes them, what the triggers are. They're typically control triggers. So something that's control related would absolutely trigger somebody to binge. I'm not binging. I'm just dealing with the anxiety. But again, I'm just a millennial, I guess, because only millennials have binge eating disorder. No other generation has it, right? So, anyways, a trigger has to do with an eating disorder, an ED. So, when you have an anxiety issue, you get a response, which is a trigger. That's what it is. So, this person's a dipshit. Okay, you're an effeminate male. I don't know your channel. Perhaps you're trans. Whining in your car about a lot of nothing. Serotonin issues. What in the world are you talking about? What did your doctor say? Stop diagnosing yourself. You're clearly not qualified. High serotonin does not make you gain weight. It's the opposite. This person is so fucking stupid. I literally said within the context of that video that having high serotonin helped me stay in a deficit because my appetite was lower, which if the person had any kind of comprehension, they would have understood that. Okay, so I'm going to just respond and say something really quick. Okay. Anyways, so yeah. So like I said, person literally doesn't even comprehend the video or what I was saying in the video. So I actually said that part of why my appetite went up is because my serotonin went down. So they're trying to argue a point that I also made, which is really stupid. Anyways, high serotonin is a natural appetite suppressant. There's no opinion about it. It's a fact. Again, arguing with something that I did not even say. So it's a straw man. Hearing you whine about living with your mom, with your preposterous comb over, you look like you're modeling yourself on Eric McCormack. I don't know who that is. Grow up. So I responded. I said, what even is this comment? If it's boring to you, click off. Very simple. These videos are documenting my health journey. If you're uninterested, I have other content. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you other than this video isn't catered to you. I have physical symptoms of high serotonin, similar to serotonin syndrome. Those are also backed up by mental symptoms. If you are unable to understand the concept of exploratory or theoretical discussions, I suggest going to simpler, more curated content. And then I said, as far as your opinions about me personally, I don't care at all what you think, and you should consider the fact you're wasting your time writing comments about my personal life. Also, I'm not trans. You can honestly F off with your homophobia. Then this person said, oh, here we go. Understand the concept of exploratory or theoretical discussions. Are you for real? From what I have read, you're a bit of a hypochondriac. You've diagnosed at the University of Google. If you think you have a problem, go to see a doctor rather than pretend you have been diagnosed and make a video. As for commenting, you put stuff out there, you invite comments. That's how YouTube works. Are you not effeminate? Do you not have a comb over? Are you not self-diagnosing an illness and wanting sympathy for it? Which part did I get wrong? Listen, if you're effeminate with a comb over, there's nothing wrong with it. It is what it is. It just makes your whining just that little bit more annoying. But hey, ho. As for the hair, go to a hairdresser and move out of denial. Ask them to cut your hair properly with no comb over. You're going to have to do it eventually, and currently it makes you look old. I mean, you do look like Aaron McComb. Do you have who that is? Okay. So anyways, I just said that this person, I said, you are homophobic, go away. That's what I said. Because they said, there you go again, poor little millennial. Nothing I wrote is homophobic. You're just looking for things to be upset about. I wrote, perhaps you're trans, and that is supposed to be homophobic. Yes, it is homophobic. It's homophobic to assume that I want to cut my dick off because I'm feminine. That is homophobic. You want me to destroy my sexuality. You want me to destroy my ability to have sex because I'm gay. That is homophobic. That is homophobic. You can fuck right off, basically. And like I said, this person is so overly invested, I guess. And I don't really have anything to say about anything else that they said. I'm not a supermodel. I'm not on here trying to, I don't have OnlyFans. I'm not doing anything where I'm selling my image. My channel is not about, I don't block people, John. Not typically, I don't. But I didn't block them. But to me, it's like, I don't sell my image in that sense. I'm not selling sexy. I don't have to look sexy. It's not important for the content. It's nothing that, if I look old or young or whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to do that. Like I said, if I was in that industry, maybe I would take the feedback, but I'm not. Also, the person doesn't understand. I can't afford a hairdresser. I can't afford things. Having a situation where your car is your livelihood and that being a financial trigger, it's like, I don't have the ability to just go to a hairdresser. I don't have the ability to do things like that. So I also don't have health insurance. So it's just so much ignorance, bigotry. Like I said, I think it's homophobia. They're trying to attack my image because they think because I'm feminine that it's going to hurt me. But it's like, you miss the part where I'm introverted and I don't give a shit about what you think. I would only care about, like, if my crush said that I was unattractive or something, then I would care. I don't care if I'm unattractive to the public. I don't care. I only care about being attractive to people that I'm attracted to. I'm introverted. So it's kind of cringy when people, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just giving such insecurity. And like I said, the only thing I said in response is, you are homophobic, go away. Because I'm sick of left-wing homophobia. I'm so tired of it, you guys. Like, honestly, I am just so over it at this point. And I'm sick of I'm going to act like I love gay people or something. It's like, you don't. So shut the fuck up and go away. Like, I don't give a shit. If you hate gay people so much, then get the fuck off my channel. I am gay as fuck. Period. It's not going to change. It's not going to be something that shifts one day. It's a wrap. Oh, Lexi. Yeah, I mean, it's just stupid. And like I said, I don't understand this concept. Like I said, I get it if you are selling your image. Like if you're a model or if you're doing OF or if you're selling your image, then I totally understand, like, taking feedback about your appearance. I totally get it. And like I said, I'm not judging anybody for doing those industries or whatever. That's not what this is about. I'm just saying I don't work in that kind of industry. My image is a part of my industry, is a part of YouTube. It is, but my channel is not pornographic. My channel is not sex content. It isn't sex work. It's not. My channel is literally, it has to do with obesity. It has to do with fatness. It has to do with these kind of things, which, yes, I am fat, and that fatness does line up with the image. Same thing with fatness or thinness or anything like that. That would all be a part of my image. Now, as far as my hair not looking good or whatever, that would be fine, I guess, to make a comment about. But like I said, it will change or it won't. I don't know. But to make fun of somebody's hair for thinning during weight loss is kind of shitty. It really is, especially since I specifically said I was insecure about my hair in the video. So it kind of does say something about that person's character. I'm not going to stop doing what I do because I post those videos for other people, especially that are losing weight or that are, kind of going through like post BED or just trying to explain it to people. I don't care if this person doesn't want to understand, but I'm still going to talk about it on here, because I don't know, I'm kind of estrogen-y today. So I'm like, ugh. Yeah, a bit of a hypochondriac. I'm dead. Just wait till that person gets a taste of aging. Right. That's the other thing too, is it's like, I literally have physical symptoms all the time, some of which you guys can see, like my thinning hair. I have rosy cheeks very often, right? I guess I'm a hypochondriac in terms of weight loss too, even though it's literally evident that I've been losing weight throughout the years. You know, my health, my skin and all that, it looks different. If you go back to 2021, I look very sick. But sure, hypochondria, right? Like we have to just go to a doctor because we can't tell if we're sick. It's ridiculous. You know, it is ridiculous. And that kind of person, it's somebody on the left. I know it. It's a leftist with absolutely zero compassion. It's one of those people that I cannot stand, and I'm so over it. I'm so over people on the left acting like that. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just so over it. It's like, I don't care if you don't care about me. I care that I don't even know if I actually care. I think to me it's just a matter of what a shitty, disgusting person to sit there and try to shit on somebody for their hair thinning because they've lost 100 pounds. I've lost 100 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's already starting where they're like threatened. People get very threatened by weight loss. They're very threatened by the idea that somebody can change. They're very, very threatened about all these things. And I'm sure that this kind of salt is just the beginning, you know? And it's pretty low key. Like, I'm not going to cry about this or anything. It's not really that deep, but it's just like, this shit has to change, you know? Like, I don't know. You know, I might not be on the left, but I'm not super compassionate of a person, but I'm not a nasty, very, very cold person that acts as if they're compassionate. I would rather the person just, like, I'd rather these people just be straight up and just be like, I'm nasty. And it's like, okay, all right, that's fine. You know, and I've gotten in debates with left wingers about that kind of thing. And they said, oh, you're going to vote for somebody because they're nice. I said, no, the issue is you're telling me not to vote for the right because they're mean, but you're just as mean. So what does it matter who I vote for? You know, it's just stupid. But I don't know. I'm saying, like, you can't say, oh, the right is this way, and then be like, oh, well, I'm going to be the same fucking way. You want me to cut my balls off because I'm gay? That is homophobic. I'm sorry. That is disgusting. That is so homophobic. Like, get a grip. Get a clue, bitch. And that's also why I wanted to make sure that I talked about it on this channel, because it's a homophobic thing. That is a homophobic person. And we're going to talk about real homophobia. That is homophobic. It is extremely homophobic to insinuate or try to pressure somebody or try to say, oh, well, I don't know if you're trans. So, like, as if I would be free of criticism if I were trans. That's homophobic. You're a homophobic person. And I don't take homophobia regardless of where it's coming from. And I don't think any gay person should. It's disgusting. So that's why I'm talking about it on this channel, because this channel is very gay. The good aspect is that you can tell the comments come from a place of ignorant privilege. They know, they are unprepared for life. True. When it's fine. Like, I don't know. I hope it gets some rise out of them, you know. I don't know. I just don't understand, like, what this idea is that because somebody comments something, they really think I'm going to change, or they really think that they're going to make a difference, or they really think that things are going to be different. It's like, it's not. I don't give a fuck what you have to say. The channel's not changing. Nothing's changing. Get the fuck over yourself. You're not the center of the fucking universe, you know? None of that is changing, and you are a homophobe. So own it. Wear it like the fucking badge of honor that I'm sure you do. You left-wing, homophobic piece of shit. Fuck off. Go talk to your doctor about COVID-19 20 more times and fuck off. That's how I feel. you know? Go wear 10 more masks for 10 more years and leave me the fuck alone and leave my body parts alone. Stop trying to pressure that on someone. It's disgusting. I hate it. I really hate it. So it's just gross. But yeah. I literally opened my phone and saw your stream and thought, oh, thanks. I appreciate that, Lexi. Anyways, yeah, so that's my little tea, I guess. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. I just hope that other people don't see it and they don't get all upset, which obviously most people won't, but this is like the tea channel, you know, this is kind of like the more personal side, right? But it's like, I don't want to, I just hope people don't see it. But the reason I don't block John is because I like to, I've told you, I like to keep a realistic view. I like knowing that some people feel that way. You know, most of my social media is extremely positive. And like I said, it's not, I have so many left wingers that are super positive and super supportive and, you know, all that stuff. But it's like, I think for me, I just get so frustrated because these days in my life, I deal with homophobia more on the left, personally. I get it a lot. And I think it's because a lot of them are very, very hyper focused on gender norms. I don't know when that changed, but it happened. And as you guys can tell, like I'm very gender non-conforming as a person. So I get a lot of homophobia from left wingers. It's really weird. But whatever, I guess. It's like, I'm sorry that reality isn't living up to your television show where every gay guy is super masculine and broy. That's not the case. You know? It's ridiculous. And as far as if I look older or not, it's like, I am older. I'm in my 30s. What am I supposed to look like? You know? I'm going to be 32. I'm not like ancient history or anything, but I'm not 16 anymore. I'm not going to look like I'm 20 years old. I'm not. You know? It's ridiculous. I feel like I at least look my age, you know? And I don't know. I was very unhealthy. Like, these people are crazy. Like, I almost died. You know, I was very deathly ill. And quite frankly, I used to look older. You know, I looked worse at 28 than I do now at almost 32 because I was very ill. So it's like, they don't understand where I've been. They don't understand what I used to look like. Like, I remember, you know, I looked very ill and very old. So it's like, I literally was looking at a picture today from 2020. And I looked so horrible in that picture. I was like, oh my fucking God, because I was so sick. I was so fucking sick. And it's like, I have come so far in the past 4 years. And that's why I named the stream this. You don't get to tell me about sad. You don't get to tell me what is triggering or not, or what is a serious issue or not. You don't understand. You're not compassionate. You don't get it. You don't have any understanding. But you're going to tell me that I don't know anything about my own experience. And you're going to tell me as a gay man, I don't know what homophobia is. I've lived it, you know? We all have. Now, what I will say is it's not all the time. And a lot of gay people are really dramatic about it. And it gets to be too much, where they act like everything is homophobic. But yeah, trying to push somebody to transition is homophobic. It's the textbook. They do that in Islamic countries as a punishment for being gay. That is as homophobic as it gets, period. I feel like these types of comments are people struggling with nuance and complexity. They want to force a simple understanding on others. Otherwise, they'd have to cope with not being in control. Yeah. I mean, the funny thing about the comment, too, if we want to get hormonal, the funny thing about the comment is it's a very high serotonin comment. So I can use it to discuss a hormonal aspect of too much serotonin. It causes extreme black and white thinking. It causes what I've called the hypohaze on the channel. It's you have too much linear thinking. You put people in boxes. You can't see gray areas, or everything is black and white. You become very judgmental, right? So even somebody else's hairstyle becomes like a huge problem in your day. I mean, think about how ridiculous this is. Oh my gosh, Lexi. I'm just saying, it's the same thinking that led to the pandemic response and led to people going along with everything so crazily and believing insane things like, oh, if we walk into the restaurant with the mask on and then take it off when we sit at the table, that makes a difference. That's high serotonin thinking. It's a huge issue in society. And I think it's because SSRIs are completely they're overprescribed. A lot of people have perfectly fine levels of serotonin and they put them on these drugs and they get crazy. And I almost wanted to assume that that person was on something, but I wasn't going to, because why would I, because I don't know for sure. Like, they could just be super estrogeny or whatever. There's a lot of ways to having that issue. Like, I'm not on an SSRI, but I'm not healthy. I'm getting healthier. I'm getting better. But it's a process. I had my own non-linear or my own linear thinking issues. I had my own boxes I put people in. I had my own us versus them, hypohaze, kind of like certain people can do no wrong and other people can do no right. I had all that. I know it like the back of my fucking hand. It's like these people act like I have no idea about something when it's like, dude, I almost died from it. I know so much about hypothyroidism. I know so much about it. It's ridiculous. It's the same thing with the binge eating disorder. I know so much about it. I know exactly what I'm talking about in terms of a trigger. You gotta be fucking kidding me. And it's like this dehumanizing, over-education-y bullshit logic. It's very high serotonin coded. That's what it is. And it's like Bubblelandia said, they want to feel in control. Life is not controllable. We don't know what's happening all the time. We can't control what happens all the time. That's the whole point of having, in a lot of ways, that's a huge ED trigger. Again, I understand it. I've wanted to be in control and it doesn't work. I'm getting over that. In my opinion, I'm taking the car situation with about as much grace as I could possibly take to realize, again, my car and my job are intertwined. If I lose my car, I lose my job. And I'm trying to be okay in the uncertainty of what is coming in regard to that. That's difficult. There's also already been money put in the car, and we might still have to take a loss. It's difficult financially, and finances can be very scary, and I'm not binging. And that's the fucking point, is that I'm living life, things are happening, and I'm not binging. So once again, I'm in remission. Once again, I know what I'm talking about. Once again, I got over it. That's what it is. But, I can cover more than one topic at once. We can discuss homophobia too. Left-wing homophobia. We can talk about it. I'm over it. I'm over all of it. I think for me, I'm just so over so many things at this point, and I wonder if it does have to do with the, Pluto's going to change signs. We're going to get into a little astro, but we're in that process of Pluto changing signs. And I feel like there's just so many long-term things, or so many momentums, or so many ideas or logic, or so much of this stuff that has been going on for so long that I'm just so over and I'm so done, And it's like these mindsets of like always appealing to authority, don't trust your own instincts, all this stuff going back to the pandemic till now, it's like that's over. Like every time I've tried to listen to people and I didn't feel like it was right, I was proven wrong. Like I had horrible outcomes listening to people most times. And I always tell people like, you know your situation better than anyone else. And by the same token, like you don't know anyone else's situation better than them. So let's just stop with the idiotic judgment, black and white thinking, controllingness. Let's stop, because you don't know what somebody else, you don't know what their situation is. So I had to learn that myself. And luckily, as I was going through the serotonin and all that stuff, like I reflected on all those things as I recovered. And so I don't judge as much, because it's like, people make decisions because they think that it's the best decision they have at the time. And maybe it is. And I can't judge somebody all the time. It's like I can't judge people. Now, what I do judge is like, I judge doing what that person was doing in terms of the comment and stuff. And like I said, I don't care about it personally, because I really don't care about like if somebody has something to say about me as a person. I don't care, honestly, because that's not what that channel is about anyways. But it's like, and you'll notice I don't even really respond to the personal jabs, because it's like it doesn't matter. All I cared about in terms of that exchange was the issue of hypothyroidism and then gayness as well. Like I do care. And so those two things are what I responded to. But for them to go on that large unhinged round of like, is that not true? Is that not true? Is that not true? It's like, what does it matter what's true or not in regard to my appearance? I don't get it. It's stupid. It's like, why are you so invested? Why are you so obsessed with me? Honestly. And again, I have no issue. Like, if somebody was obsessed with me, but I was into them or something, like if it was a romantic thing, I totally understand that. And I would be so like on board with that kind of thing. But it's like, this is a random person that I don't know or like. So if I don't like somebody, I don't want them to be obsessed with me. It's like, go away. Go away. It's just extra as fuck. So to me, that's something that I do judge, just in terms of like, I judge it because mostly from a practical standpoint, it's like when Pedestrian Altar was on this channel, like I was judging that person for wasting their time. It was a waste of time. It's a waste to get on somebody's stream and try to fight with them when I'm not going to change my mind. And I don't think that person's going to change anyone else's mind here. Like, it's just a lot of hot air for nothing, but I hope it was entertaining. But it's like that kind of attitude is what that person is giving. It's like, you really have to be somewhat narcissistic to think that your opinion about somebody or their appearance is going to change anything. Like, I think a lot of these people, their parents are too, I don't know, like their parents cater to them too much or something. It's like, you need a reality check. The world is not going to cater to you. And certainly not me. I'm not a people pleaser. I'm not. I post those videos, like I said, because it can help people understand more things about weight loss or hypothyroidism or anything, or explore ideas about serotonin or things like that. It's questions to ask. It's things to consider. And that's why I post them. So a random hater, I'm not going to stop posting because of a random hater. It's not going to happen. You can shove it up your ass, basically. It's like, I don't care. But by the same token, I'm not going to just let certain things go unopposed, because I want to be somewhat of an example. So when somebody comments like that, I try to show an example of pushing back. And I want to show that because, once again, BED, a lot of it has to do with boundaries and people not being able to set boundaries with people. So responding and showing that response publicly, that is a way of showing a boundary and showing me making a boundary and pushing back. And that's why I did it. Because personally, it doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I'm not a people pleaser. I don't, like, when that person is commenting that stuff, I don't feel anything other than anger, which to me, anger is not like the super vulnerable feeling of like, oh, sunshine and rainbows, like I want to cry. Like, no, I'm just angry. I'm angry and that's it. There's nothing else, because it's just another fucking annoying person. That's all I see. It's like, oh, another dipshit, annoying person. That's the emotional core of what I feel. You can even tell in this stream, it's just anger. That's all I feel. I'm not crying about what they said. I'm not internalizing what they said. I don't care. And it's just more so the anger of like, like I want other people to see how that is done, because we need more pushback in society. Like, people allow people to say things to them all the time. And there's this idea in American culture that if you say anything back, you're the problem. And I'm done. I don't believe in that. I think that that's honestly horrible Gen X logic. I'm sorry. I just have to keep it a buck. It's politeness, politics, and just politeness bullshit that doesn't work. Like, if somebody's being a total cunt to you, you should probably push back a little bit. You don't have to act like a dumbass or anything, but it's putting a boundary. And that's what I do a lot on my channel with certain haters, not all the time, because like I said, I don't really care about the personal side. I more so wanted to comment and let that person know that they're being homophobic, because that person probably actually thinks that that's okay to insinuate or tell somebody that they should get on hormones, which, by the way, being on estrogen would make all my hypothyroid symptoms drastically worse. It would make my serotonin go higher. It would cause all these different problems that would make my health even worse. And I probably would die if I were to get on estrogen. I mean, that kind of stuff is toxic to take, especially as a man. It is just very toxic. So, and I get it, in certain situations, people feel that they need to take it and whatever, but it's not healthy. I don't need to take it. I'm not trans. I already have health issues. I don't need you to push something on me that would give me cancer, because I'm already in a bad situation as far as estrogen. It's already too high. I'm morbidly obese. It's like, imagine telling somebody or insinuating something like that and then feeling like you're on the moral high ground. It's like, you're fucked out of your mind. You are out of your fucking mind. So it's just crazy on so many different levels. And it's just like, where did we get to this point where we can tell somebody that they're trans, or we can try to push that on somebody? When did that happen? It's ridiculous. I have no issue being gender nonconforming. I'm completely happy with it. I'm perfectly fine with being feminine. I have no issue whatsoever. I hardly even talk about it. When I do talk about it, it's certainly not in a negative way ever. You guys can tell that from my main channel. I hardly ever I just don't care. And I get plenty of comments about like, oh, your voice, or oh my gosh, or this. That's fine. I kind of understand. But it's like, yeah. Yeah, imagine Alex saying, "You know what? The VEG needs brittle bones, osteoporosis will solve all my problems." That's wild. Anyone would wish that on you in an unnecessary fashion. Exactly. I already have bone density issues from having an ED. It's like it's not terrible or anything, but my bones, it's at the lowest range of normal, you know? It's not great. So it's like, why the fuck would I do something that would make it bad? You know? I'm okay now, like, and as far as like, "Oh, you're posting this for sympathy." I'm not posting it for sympathy, I'm posting it for honesty, like, most people don't even watch those videos, which is perfectly fine. You never see me, like, talking on my main channel and being like, "Oh my gosh, no one watches my health stuff." I don't care. It's just for people who are interested in it, you know, and like I said, it has to do with documenting the whole journey. It's not no one video is what matters, it's the entire thing that matters. It's the whole thing. So it's like, and again, it's mostly for myself as far as like research purposes, because those videos have helped me to remember the journey because you don't always remember everything as you're going through it. And it's like, again, I plan on working with Lisa on a book about everything in the future. And yes, there will be research and articles and all that stuff within that because Lisa has a super academic mindset. And so it's going to be balanced with that as well. So it's like, it's unfinished, anyways. And again, I get it that people cannot always process 100 things at once. And they're even like, I don't know this channel. If you don't know this channel, then why are you commenting? Why are you acting like you know so much? You know? It's just, ugh, it's just so cringy. But yeah, story of my life, story of online. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was funny because I used to get so much hate when I was bigger. I got a lot of hate, and I used to get people all the time. And they would say, like, you shouldn't, or they would be like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know how you do that. Da 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 da. I don't know how you handle the hate or whatever. And to me, it's like, I don't know. I just don't care, I guess. I think it comes with not being a people pleaser. It just is a part of that because I just don't care. I care a little bit, but most of the time that I care about how I'm being received, it's that I care about the message or I care about the purpose of it or I care about that. I don't care about like me, if that makes like in the sense of like, oh my gosh, these people are not gonna like me. It's more so like, oh gosh, like I don't want to be so off-putting that the message is ruined. Does that make sense? That's what I care about. Otherwise, so ever, you know. But I'm just kidding, that's so bad. But this channel's fun because then I can just talk about stuff. But yeah, I don't know. So I won't block the person. They can say their shit. I just want to talk about that interaction basically. But how are you guys doing? I'm still waiting. There's not much. I think work wise, it'll probably be better the next couple days because of the holiday. But how have you guys been? Jeez. How have y'all been? Oh my gosh, you guys. Ugh. I will say though, like, I do appreciate Life After Losing. He told me, which I don't think this is a private conversation or anything, but he told me like that it was really good that I was losing the weight publicly. And I really appreciate that he said that because, oh, I'm sure, Bubble. I really appreciate that Life After Losing said that because it's tough. It's very, that part is a little challenging. It's hard to be like in the thick of stuff and then getting stuff like that. But like I said, I think about it more in terms of like the longer game or whatever. It's like a bigger picture thing. So like when I post those kinds of videos, it's like I'm thinking about things like years down the line. But I'm a very long like, I'm a very forward-thinking person. I'm a person that's extremely future-oriented, basically. I'm a very future-oriented person, basically. If you have to know, I've been kind of getting back into MBTI again, which is so cringe. But I'm an INFJ, so I live in the world of introverted intuition, which is very, very future thinking, and I'm always future thinking and planning and that kind of stuff, like very big picture. That's how I am. Um, which, gosh, I could probably do so many videos about MBTI, but the thing that I hate about INFJ is that people act like INFJs are like so wonderful and nice and like never are get in a fight or like it's just such bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, like INFJs are not nice. They're not, like, we aren't. If you're a super nice person, you're probably not an INFJ. And a lot of people think that they are one, but INFJs are very prickly because we're introverted. Like, I think an ENFJ is nice, you know? INFP can be nice sometimes, but not INFJ. It's like, ugh, no. Anyways, I don't know if you guys know your guys' MBTI, but I'd be kind of interested because I've been kind of into it lately. Because I'm almost certain that my crush is ESTP, which is so funny because it's my opposite. Documenting everything is proving all the theories you're testing. It will remove the doubt and strawman arguments which will happen at each stage of weight loss goals. Yes, exactly. And I'm covering a lot of different things at once. It's like I cover the eating disorder aspect, the emotional aspect, the weight loss aspect, the hypothyroid aspect, and all of it together and trying to piece together, like figuring out that serotonin-ness and hypo-ness are two separate scales. They're different sliding scales. They don't exactly overlap all the time. And being able to observe that I feel more serotonin-y when I'm actively losing weight, whereas hypo is a lot more seasonal based, regardless. It puts you in more of a state. If, unless if you're off the deficit for a very long time, but it's like I was in a deficit in April and my hypo was better than it was in May or June. And it was in February or January. It's like, it's important because that's also a part of weight loss too, because people struggle. How many times have you seen a person start a weight loss journey in January and they quit in March? It's because the hormones shift towards that time. And most people are not in a state of active weight loss their entire life. Your body is in a different state when you're losing weight and things affect you differently. So it's been really good and I can observe it. I can see it in other people. And most of all, I try to talk about things because I want people to do research on this. Like there needs to be extremely long-term weight loss studies that go on for years at a time, because I don't think that the pictures about weight loss are accurate. But once again, I'm an INFJ. I think very long-term. I think very future-oriented, right? This journey I've been on has been 4 years, almost. It'll be 4 years. It's been 3.5 years, actually. Almost 3.5 years. 3.5 years in September. So it's like, that's a long time. That's a long project. It's a long process. And I can, I've documented the entire thing. And I can think about the timeline and what occurred at what times. And okay, this seasonal aspect is interlapping with this serotonin aspect. Like I had no idea the serotonin thing was even relevant at all until last year, but it had already started towards July of 22. So it's like, that is huge. It's super important. I had no clue, but it's like, why am I having all these symptoms of like, serotonin hands, rosy cheeks, feeling feverish or panicky, insomnia, nightmares, twitches all over the body, all these different things, but not bad enough to where it's not like I had serotonin syndrome and I'm going to go to the hospital because I'm going to die if I don't go. It isn't like that. It's like a low level. Why am I experiencing dizziness? Like I was experiencing dizziness a year ago, like as if I was getting off an SSRI. Like these things are interesting. And if you do research, if you actually research, you can research dizziness and weight loss. It's a huge thing. And I think it has to do with serotonin. They don't know what it is. So it's like my guess is as good as anyone's because they don't research it. And how are we going to get more research? Is it by not questioning the dogma of today? I don't think so. That's not scientific. That's not anything. That's dogmatic. I don't like dogma. It's like, fuck off with your dogmatic bullshit. I'm not interested in education as your religion. I'm not an educationist. It's like, fuck off. Education, science, all these things, they're always open to questioning. They're always open to change, and they should be. Because honestly, they should change. Clearly, the way that society is handling obesity is not working. Duh. It only gets worse every decade. So why the fuck wouldn't I be questioning the status quo? That's somebody who actually wants things to change, not that person. No. It's like, get over yourself. It's not about you and your opinion on my fucking hair. Get over it. It's like, geez, I don't even know, dude. So fucking stupid. Oh my gosh. And honestly, it's probably better that I'm not a woman because comments like that don't cut me as deep. So I couldn't imagine being a woman and trying to post about weight loss online and getting comments like that. It'd be very hard. Very, very, very hard. So it's like, I don't know, you guys. That's why I do it, because I can handle it. It's like you have to do what you can handle, Do your part. That's my view, is we have to do what we can handle. I can handle doing this. Trust me. Like I have enough of a bitch edge to do it. But it's like, yeah, there's going to be bitchitude, It's a part of the process, But I may be a bitch, but I'm working towards the greater good. I'll put it to you that way. I found a way to utilize it for something productive because I wasn't always productive and I have been selfish with it. And it just made me more miserable, but it's never changed. And that was a part of getting over my BED too, is like accepting parts of myself, like the fact that I'm a bitch, that I always will be one. I'm always going to fight. And it's just a matter of, am I going to fight for the greater good, or am I going to fight for selfish reasons or for self-indulgent reasons? And I decided I'm going to fight for the greater good because I'm always going to fight, It's just interesting. And social media and YouTube and stuff, it's such a fascinating job or career because I hope it becomes a career. It is currently a job, which is kind of cool. But it's fascinating because it's so personal, but also political, but also logical, scientific. There's so many different things that it can be in one. And it fascinates me. It fascinates me that I can make a video about hormones and somebody is just talking about my hair. It's like, gosh, that is so weird, Which is I don't know. I don't even think that my hair, I'm not saying my hair is great. I would understand if I was I have the best hair in the whole world. I could understand, but it's I literally said that it wasn't it in the video. It's so weird. Isn't that crazy? I don't know. But I think that they thought that because I said I was insecure about it, that it really cuts me that deep. It doesn't. So sorry to disappoint. It's not that deep. It's just ugh, I don't feel secure in my body. I don't feel secure with my hair. I don't feel secure about certain aspects, which again, a lot of people have felt that way in weight loss. So I think it's shitty to shit on somebody for that reason because you're discouraging weight loss. And again, I don't think that certain people can understand the impact of what they're doing or saying. And it's like, and for what? Because they're frustrated in their life or something? Because they want to control somebody that they don't know and who owes them nothing? It's a cultural issue. It has to change. These are things that I think have to change. And I'm not going to shut up about it. Beyond that black and white thinking, that person was definitely trying to enforce a hierarchy of knowledge authority, a lot of gatekeeping. Oh, who is allowed to share their life experience? Exactly. And to me, like I said, greater good, researchers should watch stuff like what I'm making. They should question it. Oh, let's look at it. Let's see. Let's question this dogmatic idea in academia that serotonin is always good, no matter what, and that it can never be too high, unless if you have serotonin syndrome. So clearly it can be too high. Are there naturalistic ways where it could cause it to go higher? That should be looked at. It should be observed. And they need to develop technology to measure these hormones in the brain, especially when they're just giving people drugs willy-nilly. Do you guys know that there are no tools to test the amount of serotonin or dopamine or any of these neurotransmitters in your brain? They do not have the capability to do that. When they give you a medication, they're taking their best guess. I mean, consider it. So it's like, I'm anti-scientific. I'm not anti-academic. I have a lot of friends that have masters. I have a friend who's getting a PhD. But with that comes a knowledge of the flaws of the academic system. It is not perfect. It's deeply flawed, especially in the United States. It's so bad right now on so many levels. And that doesn't mean that it's not worth having or that it should just be thrown out. Again, I don't think black and white like that. It just means that you don't take everything as gospel, because there's political influence within academia, there's social influence, there's financial influence, especially, and governmental influence. And because of that, there's corporate influence, because corporate influence is government. It's not to say that everything is a vast conspiracy, but it is to say that it is fallible. Doesn't mean it's always wrong. It means that it can be wrong, which means it's deserved to be questioned. It deserves to be questioned. That's all. And new ideas are always a good thing. We should always be open to new ideas, especially in an area like obesity, where we're clearly failing. I think doctors, scientists, researchers, they should be open to new solutions, because clearly they do not have the solution. That's about it. Worried about the whole looking my age thing today, because I'm going in for an interview somewhere. Everyone else is 17 and 21. Oh my God, you're so right. I should look my age because I'm literally my age. Right. I mean, if you look younger, that's great. But I don't know. Oh, no problem. No problem, Lexi. I appreciate you, Lexi, a lot. You've been so sweet. But yeah, it's just so like wild. But anyways, you guys, I think I'm gonna get going. I appreciate this rant though so much. I like to wrap it up after about an hour, but thank you. I thought I'd pop on. I was like, I got something to say, and I appreciate this channel and I appreciate you guys so much. I'll talk to you later. Bye, you guys.